It's only about 10 to 12 minutes. Runs through the 8 wines that are available right now at Blumenhof, and also gives a little background and history of where we are today and where my wife manages the winery here. So if you guys don't mind, we're going to click that on, and we'll come back and reconvene our socialization here when we finish up the video. So if you have wine or anything around, feel free to enjoy. And I'll be back after the video here. So talk to you all soon. Oh,
You'll find me a bottle like Liz.
That'd be time
I
to
mean,
lose
you
it.
must have something in your house.
Run up to the Mercantile.
I do, but yeah. I might be like Tony and find me some bourbon. That'll be trouble.
That'll be when I get home and feel like there was a successful evening,
Yeah.
We're here today with my wife Amanda and the owner and winemaker Mark Blumenberg. How's the sound on that? Can you guys actually hear that reasonably? It's quiet most of the way, so if you can turn it up in your side at all, go ahead. Let's see what I can do here.
Derek, I don't have any sound.
You took the sound away.
You left us. Well,
We had sound.
Let's do voiceovers. Hi, I'm Derek.
Oh man, it's gonna,
record the screen.
it's gonna be like bad lip reading. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be all like, and here we have great 8 wines, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. I'm not.
Gosh, I'm so mad because now I want to hit mute and look for the text, but it's not there. And this is a semi-sweet we're looking at.
And here's some grapes.
Made from peas.
Here's some grapes. Here's some grapes. Thanks, here's some grapes.
You guys know wine comes from grapes, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And they go from here to there. Look, she's showing us how to do it.
Lord.
Going to try to change the settings on his computer.
Let me tell you this, boy. You want to hang out with the family and have some drinks. Hang out with Derek and Amanda and Dave. Whew.
Dave and Janie just got here. I'm gonna make them.
Whew. Yeah, hang out with them. Hang out with them. It's a party.
Ooh, this one's a gold medal.
Yeah, that's the one. I actually I attempted to order it. I don't know.
Or
It
grapes.
didn't go through. More grapes. More grapes. I think they use the best grapes. So we keep seeing the same style. You notice.
All right, we're back. We're
Only-
gonna
only the
Those
best.
were ghost grapes.
There has to be an audio shortcut, so we're gonna tinker here. Try to figure out what the situation is.
Yeah.
Eric, this is entertaining though. Still fun.
That's all part of it. It was
because
kind of like, how is this gonna
having
go?
a
And it's
ghetto
all-
bottle before. I just want to show the corks like legit official here, team.
Oh, nice.
It's legit.
Try turning up the volume on your computer, Derek.
I'm sitting as Amanda.
Oh, Amanda, have you tried turning up his volume like on the bottom right? Up, all the way up.
Hey guys, Janie's here. Hey, I just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
Hey, Jane.
You guys are where it's warm, aren't you?
We're inside. But probably warmer.
I could probably kick on the space heater and be a little warmer, but I mean, you know.
I like.
The wine, maybe that'll warm you up.
Yeah, maybe I had to get some of that pretty good.
Good answer, Liz.
Well,
But I
Liz
love
must be
the-
toasty.
I love the little fire things that you guys have there. Is that not putting off much heat, or is that?
Well, we're not over by them. If we would move over there, we'd warm.
It would make
That's
a
fair.
difference.
That's fair. That's
Make a
fair.
I mean,
huge
we were all
difference.
right. We were hanging out and, we were, narrating the video ourselves. Actually, it was pretty fun. Edwina saw grapes.
The grapes.
Like, really? Uh-oh. Derek's interrupting us.
I'm gonna see if this worked. I changed the setting. Well,
Oh, Emily, full screen.
Looks like you got quite a few nice places down around the waterfront, down there. It's not very easy to check them out, I know, but.
Is it working? No,
I'm still not getting anything. Yeah.
I can hear them now.
And then what's very into, can I go?
Here, yeah.
I think it'll be an abandoned ship situation, and we'll go freestyle and you know. Well, Steven says don't give up yet, so he's a fighter over here.
You have it uploaded anywhere?
Yeah, no, the real thing. Yeah, I was gonna say I have a version of it, so I could share it that way.
That's what I was gonna say. If it's on YouTube or something, maybe I can share my screen and try to play it for you.
No, I don't have it that way. I have it as like a hard file, but the reality is the audio itself we know is quiet, so I just think it's not gonna be loud enough. Well, hold on. I gotta go say hi by the bud here, so it sounds like he might be moseying.
We just had the wind come through it and a tiny bit of rain.
Oh,
Yes. We're very bundled. But don't worry, guys.
They're killing me.
My Missouri Realtor gloves
Impact.
and hat. Tony, what are you drinking now?
So this is actually Jay Rieger. I can grab the bottle if you want me to. This is a fancy little thing my parents got me for my office here. But no, it's Jay Rieger's. They're like, what do they call it? Their private reserve or whatever, you know, they're like top shelf stuff. Kind of cool. Actually, they use a what they call a Solera blending method, which they use for wines a lot. So they'll I think they started back in 2017 with this batch. And then they put like their blend from that year in. And then like in 2018, they take like the top half out and then put back in some mixed with the 2017. They didn't do anything in 2019. So this year, the newest whiskey in here is about 2 years old, and then the oldest would be what, like 3-4 years old. But it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. And Kansas City whiskey, obviously, which is awesome. But
That sounds awesome. Liz, are you guys making dinner? What's happening in your kitchen?
Tim is making dinner.
Every night.
I just was like, hey, we're drinking wine on Zoom. So why don't I come in and we can hang together and do the wine. So so I moved. And so my new place doesn't have a dishwasher yet. So every day we take turns doing so many dishes. I hate dishes so much.
So many.
So he's doing dishes before dinner because it's like, and then I'll do them after. Take turns. But this is my little kitchen. But
Do you
yeah,
have kids?
do
do you have kids, Liz?
no.
Okay, right on.
But I'm like, at least I don't have children.
That's what I was going to say. It's still amazing how many dishes 2 people can generate, though. Still, I'm with you. Like,
Yeah. And I can only imagine like the baby and the bottles and the bottle washing and all the stuff.
Pass.
Oh man.
SF3, are you getting it to work up there?
It's got to get into you. Actually, I think it has to be done to usage at your account, changing how video settings could happen and share. Because you shared videos at our meetings, didn't you?
Yes, but if the video is already kind of quiet,
But it's not picking it up at all.
yeah, it was. I mean, we could see the video.
Yeah, but you couldn't hear the video. Right? Couldn't hear it.
Well, we
A
could
little
hear
bit.
a tiny bit. So the
It was
sound
just real quiet.
through, it's just not loud enough.
Yeah, so it's probably, as it plays, coming through one speaker, it's probably being picked up as opposed to playing it as a video on everybody's Zoom. I think if you had a copy of the video and you screen shared it, you would probably be able to get video like normal. So let me, let's try that. I'll have Derek email that to you.
If he can, absolutely.
So
Hey, while you guys are working on that real quick, Amanda, did you just call him? What was that? You said SF3?
Oh, SF3. So Steven is a third. So I
Tony's
call
like,
love
what?
that.
What?
I love that. That's fantastic.
Flannery the third.
Right.
Steve and I have been friends for a very long time. We are in another nonprofit together and have done some campaign managing together. In our little town.
he was
So-
my campaign manager when I ran for mayor.
Yeah, there's that too. So yes, I call him SF3, and his dad is SF2, obviously.
Obviously.
Obvious reasons. Yeah.
Hey, I have a WW3 and a WW4 at home.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, I'm all about the initials if I can.
Nice. Nice.
Do you ever just like call them like 3 or 4? Like
You emailed
3.
the video to Amanda?
No, and there's not really a nickname for 4. Like you can't call him Quad. Quart. I mean, what do you call him? So we just called him.
You?
That is tough. That is tough.
Hey, but you know, Tony's been doing a great job filling the air for you.
Uh-oh. What have you been doing,
I
Tony?
think I'm good for something, you know, I mean, if nothing else.
You telling jokes?
No. Why are you wearing a suit today, Tony?
It's meetings this morning. We had a chair, vice chair meetings this morning. So being president, I feel like I should like at least look the role from the waist up most of the time, right? You know.
Hey.
You have
Yeah.
basketball shorts on, Tony?
Oh no, I actually do have pants on today, black pants. but, yeah. We're laughing about that today at work. My dad just recently got hip surgery. I'm sure he'll love me telling the story. But my broker lately has been giving him trouble because he's been wearing like sweatpants to work, like legit, you know. And today he wore like actual pants for the first time. I think it was just jeans or something. But he was talking about there at the end of the day. It was like 4:30 or something. You know, he's all like, "Man, he's like, it's amazing. I feel like I got so much done today. This is awesome." So my broker comes by. He's like, "It's amazing what you can do when you put pants on."
Hey, Andre, are you in Tokyo there, buddy?
I like to travel.
There you
Tune in
go.
Tokyo. Tune in Tokyo.
Might as well travel in your mind because we don't get to travel anywhere in person.
Yeah.
Hey, every
wanna
time
talk that, weren't
every
you?
time I see someone complain about their birthday, I just go, I was on a damn stay order on my birthday, okay?
Hey, you know, fun fact, it's 9:49 in the morning in Tokyo.
It's
That I did not.
Amanda, I
That I
did
didn't
email
know.
you that link to see if you can make a
Come
difference. If not, guys, I think the amateur videography that took place just may not have been sufficient on the audio quality. I think that the phone video, is probably part of my issue. We had a friend of mine, a guy who's a freelance video specialist and editor, do it, and he was like, I did my best to try to get the quality to where it was useful, and we watched the video no problem and enjoyed it, but I'm guessing there's some issues here as we try to convey it across multiple platforms
I
here.
We were making it work. We were making it work, Derek. For
Oh,
you.
I was gonna say I
Before
can
you
walk you
stopped it.
through like what's it called?
Do bad lip reading?
No, bad lip reading or mystery science theater. You know,
That's what I was going for. MST 3000. Man. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
We were feeling it. We were feeling it.
That's what when I came back up here and I heard you guys talking, I'm like, they are seriously. I think that's grapes. Oh, that's the one. You guys are killing me. You're killing me.
I was breaking down. It was like appeared to be a semi-sweet that she had grabbed the bottle there. I didn't get to catch the label. It moved too quick.
Green grapes.
And then the one was an award winner that I attempted to place an order, but it didn't go through. So I don't have my award winner. And that is a sweet, isn't it, Derek? That I was attempting to buy.
I think
wow.
so. Which one were
Yeah.
you trying to buy?
It was one of the award
Melvin
winners.
Muscat.
Yeah, I'm not a wine drinker, but I do like I don't drink anything, but I do like the sweet.
Yeah. No,
That was my second. I was going to, since I couldn't be there in person, I was actually going to place an order and get some wine and whatnot, but add that to my list of things that didn't happen this year.
But just think, Tony, if you'd have done
I'm
that,
just gonna-
you'd have
I'm gonna-
bottles of wine all open, so you'd have to finish them all.
I'm just gonna stack it. I'm gonna start making a list, Tony. It's gonna be pretty big. You know, it's only January 14th.
Dude, you're right. You're right. Yeah. No, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those years. Like, and maybe it's just, because what I'm doing this year and all that. But dude, I have a feeling, I'm going to look back in November, December and be like, shit, that just happened.
It's gonna be a blur. It'll be a blur.
That's
Yeah.
how president's years normally go. I think,
Yeah.
it's just the way. The
He's
nature
like,
of it.
oh, just wake up, put on a suit.
Mine
I
already
was,
feels long.
I was sitting around bragging about not putting on a tie.
Steven's already thinking about
8
throwing in the
months.
towel. He had one board meeting. He's throwing in the towel over here. He says, I'm out.
I've been doing it since June.
It's also
Enough.
not true. He's actually been president since June, but we won't get into that. They had to give him a little trouble. Sounds like someone else showed up. They're trying to
So
get
who's having dinner? Liz and Michelle having dinner over there?
Yeah. What are you having, Liz? Did you answer that question? Oh, look at there. I'm getting, what is it? Mac and cheese?
Is that fries?
Sprinkle cut butternut squash. I guess
Butternut squash. Okay.
French fries.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they sprinkle cut things, but I
That's
guess
fancy.
some
And by the look on your face, I know who knows what they're doing.
I look
We-
at her. She
we
was
all-
Well, Michelle, I'm usually the cook in my house. I know what that looks.
Yeah. Tim also smoked meat yesterday, so we're gonna have some pork chops with it. But we also have
Sweet.
a menu board behind us. So when we have we change it out and like put what we're having. This is our breakfast.
Oh, I'm
That
jealous.
breakfast
Yeah,
fruit
I'm
plate
jelly.
won't have you open.
Y'all at B&G this morning? Shit, I'm getting hungry now.
I'm jelly.
that was-
Wow.
Sorry, that was on Sunday.
Oh,
We update the menu board too sometimes, like
See, I haven't
Right.
eaten
right what
dinner,
we're making.
and Tony's got me
Despite you
drinking
guys
bourbon.
making, oh, sorry, Andre. Despite you guys all making me hungry, I'm really worried that Amanda Nemeth is frozen down there in that one square.
Right? She hasn't moved.
She hasn't moved in like 5 minutes.
I'll take
Wait,
Amanda
wait,
for the block.
You mean Zoom frozen or like legit
Amanda
frozen?
for the
No, I
center.
think he means legit frozen.
Like Ice Cube, not a technical issue.
Trying to download this video and staring at it, hoping it'll go faster. But let's be honest, it's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Just a tiny screen around. But I'm working on
that's okay. You got Heckle and Jekyll up here entertaining everybody.
Focus.
it. That's true.
And I love the varying realtor mask. Derek's got the single, and you got the yeah. All right. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, my stuff's in the car.
Do you have a realtor mask?
I have I bought I had a nice little couple new ball cap realtor caps that I purchased.
I snagged one of those. That's who we are caps last year.
Yep.
One of the
Yep. That's it.
Our pack auctions.
Oh,
Yeah.
it will match. It will match
I snagged
perfectly
the
with that
mug.
mask.
I think I've seen Derek sporting the mug too. That's who we are mug. I snagged myself one of those, like the little not it's not a Yeti, but it's like a whatever it is.
There you go, realtor party.
Oh,
Look at that. I like the Realtor Party one.
It looks good.
I
sweet.
participated with the national training for the realtor party training because I'm our PAC fundraising chair. So I got invited and they sent us all a little mask. And I thought that was cute.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
Looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
my mom's taking over a camera down there. And then I heard her laughing over here, but not on the camera.
Oh, there we go.
Down
Nice.
there.
Okay, guys,
Shit.
quiet.
Michelle's got
Shell
the
representing
realtor party.
too.
Well,
Yep.
Hell yeah,
Amanda's
man.
going for it. Let's see
Hell
what
yeah.
happens here.
All right. I gotta go find my wine.
Yeah, find mine too.
Last three, I have your wine down here.
Participating tonight. It's going to be a wonderful evening. Tasting
Yeah.
I can hear that good.
We're here today with my wife Amanda and the owner and winemaker Mark Blumenberg. Looking forward to tonight and introducing you to my favorite winery in Missouri. So we're going to start off with an introduction of the history of the winery by Mark.
We've been there for 34, going on 35 years, I guess. Started with my dad, James, making wine. Started in 1986. Before 86, even, we actually planted grapes in 1979. Started in 1979.
And since then, you guys have had just continued to keep making wines. Have you made all the same wines for all that time, or have you introduced new wines over time?
It's been an evolution to some extent. We're always on the lookout for grapes that we can
No.
He left us again, and now there's no sound, and we get to narrate.
You notice he left us right at the grapes, though. He was talking about grapes.
We're waiting for the grapes.
Did the sound go out again?
So we're going to start the wine tasting with our first dry white, which is the Saval. So Saval is done in stainless steel, and it's very
Can you hear it?
citrusy.
Tony, can you hear it?
It has a nice
Yeah, I can hear.
character, Sauvignon Blanc, which sometimes can tend to be rather grassy, maybe even a little harsh. This one is not at all that way. It has more fruit character rather than the vegetal character that some Sauvignon Blancs can have, which is why it makes a really nice patio wine, especially on like a nice hot day. It's very refreshing. It pairs really nicely with seafood or like cheeses, chicken dishes, things like that. It's a palate pleaser, you know, it's not oak. Sometimes it's oak, people don't like that. So this is nice for people who like something a little lighter.
Crisp, very
Yes,
clean.
very crisp. We'll move on to the Utopia. Utopia is definitely one of my favorite Blumenhof wines. It is a dry vigneul. So we've been growing vigneul for as long as we've been around as well. We've been doing the semi-sweet version of vigneul for a very long time. The dry vigneul we started almost 10 years ago, about 8 years ago. So it has been very popular. It's nice.
Very smooth.
Yes, it doesn't have as much citrus character as the Saval. We do the malolactic fermentation on this, which is a secondary fermentation that it tends to give it more of a creamy texture. So it has a lot of pineapple flavor, but also a little bit of like creaminess. So it's really nice for people who like oak whites, but this is not done in oak, it's done in stainless steel, but it is more like that style. The name Utopia has a nice history. A few years ago, the Missouri History Museum did an exhibit where it was a traveling exhibit. So it actually was in Germany at one point, and it came to the St. Louis Missouri History Museum. They said that the Germans who settled this area would write back to their family in Germany, or when they would go back and visit, they would talk about this good zone, which is where we are, being Utopia. So that's why this one is named for that, which is pretty neat. So has a history behind it.
It was neat to go there and kind of hear the story of our location and geography here, and how kind of important it was to Missouri history in some ways. So.
And so where we are right now is the most permanent German settlement in Missouri. Chamberson is a white-bodied dry red that's done in Missouri oak barrels. It has a nice fruit-forward character similar to Pinot Noir. I noticed a little dark cherry, plum, even a hint of a spice with that. Chambersons are known for being rather jammy, so you do notice a lot of fruit character in this wine. I would like to drink this one with pastas, or even all by itself is great too. Some red wines you need to have like a steak or something with it. I think this one goes well with pasta dishes or by itself. This one's one of my favorites. This is always a staple of Blumenhof that I've always enjoyed.
When me and Amanda do industry research, when we visit other wineries throughout Missouri, we typically try to make sure we try their Chamberson. It's one of our go-to red grape types.
All right, so next we're going to go into the Crimson Cabernet. Is a new hybrid grape. It's a cross of the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Cynthiana, which is also referred to as Norton. It's got the nice structure of a Cabernet Sauvignon, but a little lighter side, I would say, than a Cabernet normally is. But it's very interesting, and it definitely has that spice character, don't you think? Or you noticing?
Yeah, all the vintages I've had with it, it's interesting, and you can really tell it's a mix of something, and it just always stands out as a really unique, and I call it almost a bold wine most of the time.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to our semi-dry white. Currently, we just have one, and that would be the Rayon d'Or. This is a very rare grape variety. Most vineyards around here have pulled those grapes out and no longer produce this wine. So we are actually the only winery that I'm aware of that has a single varietal Rayon d'Or. Why is it so rare, and why do we still grow it? And he said we just got lucky with where we planted it and how they're doing. Is that correct? Or do you need to add to that?
It just happened to get planted in probably the best spot.
And it's just the way that the grapes grow. And
It's a survivor. I mean, we've had these planted since 1979 also.
it's comparable to Pinot Grigio, so it's nice for people who maybe you're with somebody who likes a dry and somebody who likes something sweeter. You can meet in the middle with this one because it has such nice fruit character to it, a nice Granny Smith apple, really citrusy, and then it finishes really with a little bit of a little sweet. So it's really nice afternoon wine.
This is the one that got me going here. I never regretted it, I'll tell you what.
So I guess we're gonna move on to the semi-sweets then. So we tried the Utopia, which was a dry vignole. This is our semi-sweet vignole. You'll notice the similarities with the fruit character as far as pineapple and pear maybe.
I would say maybe the
Apricot, kind of that stone fruit, yes, that's my word. We've been doing this one for a long time, then we introduced the dry vignole later on. We grow these on this one acre of vignole on this property at the winery. And they're on a very steep hillside, and they are hand-picked. And I get to help with that most of the time. It's always very, very hot because it's beginning of the harvest. But it's a lot of fun, and then you get to try it, and it's like really neat to get to sample what you worked hard to make.
I would say, I'm happy to have anybody come out.
I would be happy with that too.
One of the least fun grapes to make.
So we'll move on to the Blancheret.
So the other day we were here, we were having, what's it called, mulled wine?
Yes, mulled wine. So that is a German tradition where you heat the wine up, add spices to it and brown sugar, and they call it Glühwein in Germany. But it's a nice spiced hot wine. So right now we are using the La Charette in that. So this has made a really nice mulled wine. It's almost like a cider, like an apple cider. So it's worked out really well for us.
It's kind of interesting to come here, especially those winter months, sit by the fire pit and have your hot wine that definitely just sets the right mood for a winter scene.
Right, and we do a Christmas market where we sell this, goes out like crazy that day. So that's always really fun. We have lots of vendors that come out, and it's always a good time. So we do that every year around Thanksgiving. The La Charette is a blend, actually. So we've been doing all single varietal wines so far. So everything you've tried so far is just had one grape variety. This is a blend. So every year it's a little different, but primarily the Belle Blanc and Vignole, correct? Is that what this God wine is?
And this one has a little
Okay. You know, we talked about a lot of different fruit characters and the whites and everything, and this one almost is just like a nice smooth sweetness because it's a blend of a lot of different wines.
Well, it just reminds me of like your classic table wine.
Right.
It's just ready to roll, easy to drink, whether you like sweet things or not, it's palatable. It's just a nice, smooth drinking wine.
And the La Charette name comes from the town of Marthasville, correct?
Well, sort of.
Okay.
Before Marthasville was there was a trading village called Marshall.
Oh, okay.
Which was the last outpost that Lewis and Clark encountered in Quebec, Northwest, up Missouri. It was only a few families, so it was not a real town. It was just a trading post, basically.
Oh, I was wondering where that name came from. So lastly, we're going to do the Valvin Muscat. Valvin Muscat is very similar to Moscato. It was produced or developed by Cornell University probably about 15 years ago now. And we were one of the first places to actually grow and produce wine from this grape, and now it's becoming very popular. But we've been very successful with this. It won best wine in the state. So it's a Governor's Cup winner back in 2011. So all of our wines get entered into different competitions around the United States where they're compared against different wines from different states, different countries, and we've done very well over the years. We are actually the most awarded all Missouri winery. So Valvin Muscat has won lots of gold medals, best of class, so is the Vignole, and we're just really proud of everything we have here. Could you speak a little bit about that grape variety? It's pretty unique and very new.
There aren't many wineries growing it surprisingly. It makes outstanding wines, but it's not the biggest producer. I think that's one of its drawbacks.
So this one has a lot of tropical fruit flavors, and it has a little hint of floralness to it. So I get
Picking that up.
little floral note.
Yeah, not quite grassy, but it was something
Like roses or something, and but it goes in with the passion fruit, tropical fruit, peach. I noticed a lot of peach character with that one, so that's a very, it's got a lot going on. It's very complex wine, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you prefer sweet type wines, this one would really stand out to someone who's yeah, a lot of characteristics.
So that concludes our wine tasting.
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank everyone for participating. If you didn't get a chance to order your wines from the Blumenhof website before the event, I would highly encourage you, after hearing the tasting, to hop on there before one of these 8 wines is out of stock here, because it's just the way the nature goes of a small family winery, and it's wonderful that they keep everything so close, and we kind of know where it's coming from all the time, and we know that it's in good hands with Mark and his son Eric, who have worked with these two on a regular basis to make sure this all goes the way it does, and it goes wonderfully. So I just appreciate them spending their time with us and giving us the venue to host everyone this evening, and hope everyone has a good time, whether you're here in person or visiting us online. So thank you.
Thank you.
Woohoo! So that was that. That was our amateur video production. I never took that in high school, and I think it shows. But nonetheless, guys, I just hope you enjoyed it. You know, I wanted to give a little background of the winery that I've come to love, and my wife is here weekly, and it's just feels like it's part of our family, and the family-run winery feels like part of our family. So just wanted to share that with everyone, and if you're ever around, feel free to stop in and enjoy it, and or like I mentioned, you know, online there's sales and purchases available. Apparently it gave Andre some trouble, so not sure if that was user error or you know, system error, but we'll see what happened there. But nonetheless, guys, you know,
User error.
I don't think we lived up to Tony's production, but we were an amateur production. I did get to attend Tony's installation, and it was quite a festivity. And if you ever have a chance to attend Kansas City's, I think they call it a holiday party. It's a real treat. You guys put on probably one of the most festive events I've been to in general, not just for realtor sake. And so it was a pretty neat setting. So we just tried to mimic it. I wanted to see how a hybrid event went. You know, trying to mix the balance of chatting with the people in person, as well as appreciating and talking with you guys here. This has been more or less a comedy hour in some ways. So beyond happy with that. You know, humans need to have that interaction, that positivity, and that laughter is a vibrant part of life, in my opinion. So it was fun having the time here with you guys and joking around and having fun. So does anyone have any questions or anything for me?
This was very nice, Derek. Thank you. It was a good idea.
Thank you. No problem. It was not necessarily my own idea. I think some of us had been talking about what to do, because, you know, just hosting a social at the event would leave about half the people feeling like they were left out. So we wanted to just make sure we made that available and made everyone feel welcome. So, oh, I see the question Liz had on there. I just saw it. We do not have, I would say, enough space here. So it is kind of a small little, it's not necessarily tiny, but it's a quaint little space where we probably have room for 150 people max. So it's probably not quite, but we'll find a way to maybe venture to our area if I have the chance. So there's a few different venue spaces that could potentially hold. But we'll see how next Friday goes. And so we had a person who showed up during the video.
Yeah,
She needs to unmute and introduce herself.
Here, come around. You can see who else here.
Why don't you unmute their little phone so she can introduce herself?
What?
I mean, we'd get feedback.
They're frozen now.
Hold on.
Who's frozen?
Is that Edwina?
Yes.
Yes.
How are you?
Can you tell who it is?
Here tonight.
I think that one camera just freezes. Oh no, she's moving. But yes, what a crew. So from here, guys, I didn't have a whole bunch. I think all of you have really seen at least a portion of my campaign, you know, speeches and that sort of thing. So I'm not gonna reiterate some of those points. I'd be glad to. Oh, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Edwina, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
This is Kelly.
I thought
Yes,
to be here tonight.
I am here.
Okay.
She is here. Yeah.
Spirit, sugar.
It is a great night. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. And again, you know, if you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer any of them. Otherwise, it was just going to be from 7 on, and obviously the video start got a little late. That was kind of humorous in the meantime. And so from here, I was just going to go down and join the rest of the crew down there. And if you want to stick around and socialize with us, feel free to do that. But again, you know, next week we start our business meetings, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. And if you're there digitally or in person, just make sure you reach out, whether through chat or stop me in a hallway, and be glad to chat with you. And it's just so wonderful to see familiar faces on here, and appreciate it. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, Derek,
Yeah,
Derek,
go ahead, Edwina.
we're proud to be able to campaign for you too. So it's a real pleasure. I hope you know that.
Well, thank you. And I'm always humbled by the people who are willing to, encourage me and support when they can. And it's a lot of people who I look up to in some ways too. So always just a heartfelt situation. I saw Michelle throw the heart up there, but it's, again, a lot of us are friends, and we start to feel like family sometimes. And so I just miss everyone, and can't wait to see everyone. And hopefully 2021 is one of those better years than the previous year. And I don't think it has to beat much, but hopefully it hangs in there. So thank you all.
Derek, can we ask the people that are on Zoom, how many of them may be coming to the conference in person?
Yeah. Raise your hand if you're going in person. I understand if your hand's not raised. I think it's from what I'm being told, it's about 50-50.
50-50? Okay.
Yep. And a lot of the people who aren't, there's good reasons, whether it be
No, I understand.
their own personal health or
Derek, we're in a pandemic.
Well,
We're in
I'm
a
not
pandemic.
vaccinated
So
for COVID-19, so I know.
Yeah.
I already had
it's-
it too. That's why I can go in person.
it's a stressful situation, but I think it's nice that Missouri Realtors at least given
High risk.
Yeah, for the people who are interested and willing, and it's nice that you're giving them that chance. I think there's some psychological situations and people that they need that socialization and interaction. So it's for them, and it's definitely important. And I understand others who
Everybody who
concerns
comes
over it.
in, I wish you were here with us. So I'm gonna finish tasting the wine for you.
I can't quite hear you, but I hope that's a cheers.
I feel like it was.
All
I feel like
right.
it was.
We can cheers to that. I'm on board with that. Thank you.
So Derek, do we have to jump off, or can we just keep drinking and talking to each other?
No, we're going to do that. I'm going to move my computer down there, and I'm going to go join everyone. And you can either feel free to sign off, or if you want to stick around, feel free.
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna jump
coming down
off.
here?
Oh,
I need to go. I need to go relieve my wife. She's been gracious enough. Shout out to my wife for watching our daughter, so I could be here for this. I've heard a couple cries, so I'm gonna go check on that situation.
That's the
Nice
telltale.
one.
That's a good dad right there, Tony.
so Derek, just before
See you
you
guys
See you,
next week.
Tony.
See you, Tony.
Definitely.
make sure to give everybody your top bullet point here for next week.
Oh, what's my top bullet point?
Yeah, or like top talking point, so that we don't forget.
Let him figure that out when he's not drinking wine.
But this is the
No,
perfect
this is the
time.
perfect time to figure it out.
And this is why me and Steven can't
It's
hang
like,
out
whoa,
too
Michelle,
much.
you know who you're talking about, right? Yeah.
I know, that's why I said we should wait.
I think my main talking point, in some ways, it came out of if it was yesterday, the St. Louis meeting, and just really kind of finding the right way to describe how we can all pull together. And in some ways, I think I hit a message I liked yesterday, and I'm trying to wrap my head around how to deliver it a little better. But it's the idea of being willing to listen to people who have disagreements, but realizing the right time to take a stand in what you believe in, and making sure that in some ways as realtors that what we take a stance in needs to be in line with our code. And if we can find a way to leverage our stance individually and collectively that we've taken as realtors, maybe other groups can start doing something similar. And I think that's where we could see maybe real positive change, not just in our industry, but we can impact that across the state. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to deliver that. I think right there wasn't a bad way of delivering
I was
it.
gonna say, you just did it. You just did it.
But I kind of.
I wasn't recording that for you. I'm sorry.
Luckily, Amanda was.
Amanda did.
That's a good AE right there. I'll tell you what. Good friend and good AE.
No,
right
Derek.
there. You're looking out for me.
Derek, I mean, you've been talking about this all campaign, and that was probably the best way you've summed it up. And, you know, and like you're hitting that, and maybe you slide it in there. We have more in common than we have that divides us. And that's what we need to focus
Really
on.
good point, Stephen.
That's right.
I think you're good at doing that. I think you're good at talking to people. Sometimes you dig your heels in, you get a little stubborn, but you do come back around the next day, and we do talk a little bit different.
Steven, he doesn't drink with everybody he talks to.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So-
that's the problem. That's the
There
problem,
you go.
Andre.
Yeah,
you
I
got
know
it.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
In the right setting, I let a little too loose, and I'm trying to gather those reins in. But
Debate can have midnight debates just open up, Steven. It just happens, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
so speaking of midnight debates, is anybody interested in joining Clubhouse? Apparently, people liked me, and now I have 5 invitations.
no,
Oh,
I'm,
wow.
I'm in. If anyone's waiting to get in, I highly recommend it. It's
Are you
Here's
in? Okay.
Clubhouse.
yeah.
I'm not familiar. What is Clubhouse?
I'm not on it, but you know,
So be
if you invite
careful
me,
if
I'll
you get
get
on
on
it.
there.
'Cause
But you know,
I
I have enough stories from friends, good and bad.
On
It is
Clubhouse.
if you find the right rooms, it's a very inspiring platform.
There we go.
But if you get bogged down in some of them, you're just going to get angry. So, you know, or you're going to say this isn't relevant to me, but there's a lot of
People.
opportunities there to interact and connect with people who are like-minded. So unlike Facebook,
What is
where you
that?
kind of get
Is it a social media platform?
it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
what-
So it's just been launched, I believe, by some groups of entrepreneurs who are like, we need to find a better place to have positive communication. So they kind of created this, limited the amount of people who have access. I believe some people in the music industry, some people from the real estate industry, from coaching groups, that sort of thing is who founded this. And now they're the kind of the leaders, but they're welcoming us to come in and share our opinions and join the conversations. And really you can kind of leverage yourself as a potentially a public speaker, influencer, or whatever it might be. But it's very limited who's able to get in, and it's creating a very a powerful network of people who are on there. So I've only had it with the campaign going. I've only had a few days where I've got to really interact with it, but definitely not disappointed in the time I've spent on it.
So a friend sent me a request like 3 days ago, and I love that there's no video, there's no typing, you can't send a message to anybody, you can't, none of that. It's truly conversation based. So you get a profile image and a profile, and you can link your Instagram and Twitter to your profile. You can put other profiles within the body of your bio if you want, but you choose what kind of groups you want to go in. And so you can go into any group. And what I've been finding really interesting is learning about things perspectives that I had never even dreamed of or thought of. And there's spaces within that platform where there's some very raw conversations going on. I've been kind of blown away by the platform. There's other groups in there that are, pitch groups. And so there will be hundreds of people in there. And then Grant Cardone pops in, and you actually could pitch your product to him. And I don't know if you know who Grant is or not, but he's a billionaire entrepreneurial guru. He's like a Tony Robbins kind of guy, sort of.
I think the key is it's video based, or not video, audio based.
Audio,
So like
all
you
audio.
put it on, it's basically like listening to a live podcast where you don't know where the conversation is going. Like instead of a podcast where it's like, this is my script and I'm reading it and this is what I'm telling people. Like I make a comment and someone has an issue with it and they have an explanation of why they would challenge my stance. And then like, it just becomes this like positive dialogue. And honestly, it would be a good example of how change can happen in a good way. And conversations can change minds when you listen and respect each other. So yeah, it's a neat platform. Anyone's interested.
You don't have to be friends with these folks or know them, and they're from all over the world. And so you can truly like hop into a conversation with 200 other people. And there's a lot of real estate groups and marketing conversations and things like that. But then, there's also conversations about racial equity and education and science and I mean, you name it, there's groups on there for, I don't know. I've been really fascinated by it, just the people that I've been able to connect with. I was in a room the other night with Soldier Boy and Meek Mills. You know, and it's crazy because you could just raise your hand in the room and chime right in and have a conversation with them, which, I mean, that's just insane to me that that's even, you know, I don't know. It's just fascinating.
Oh, you're right. And that's like, so I've been sitting more in certain real estate groups, and then, you know, different conversations. So we're about to start echoing because I made it down to the
Well, more of the story.
yeah, it's interesting.
You
So if
have to
anyone's
be
interested,
invited.
I was
It's
gonna say,
in
reach out to
beta
me.
still. It's only on iPhone. And if anybody is interested, I got 5 invites. You want to get any
say
of
it's-
that? You want me to
You
send
say
you
it's
one?
only on iPhone?
Yeah, you have to have an iPhone. You have an iPhone?
Or log into the website, correct? Or is it Apple?
Yeah, I think you can get in through PC or something too, maybe. I don't know.
If you're interested, reach out to Michelle, or the other loophole is if you simply create an account, everyone who's your friend and your contacts gets made aware that you're waiting in the room, and they can let you in without using your invite.
Good.
So, yeah. Look at Steven.
We have a nice fire.
Bonfire. He stole my idea. I was going to set my laptop over there, and everyone would be gathering around a bonfire.
Hey, great minds think alike.
I'm worried my colleagues will kill some direct
So,
their rhetoric.
you know, I tell you, this is probably the second Zoom quote unquote happy hour I've been a part of. You know, Jeff Kester did that last year, that summer. It was still fun. And we get to hear Andre's TV too.
I want to be clear.
That was a quick mute there, Andre. You had the finger on the trigger there.
I have no idea. What you're talking about.
It must be at Wiener's TV in the background.
Yeah, sure.
Oh man, this is fun.
The other two.
Good times.
Oh, cool. The other pair that came in, they're up there snagging some wine and talking with Amanda up there. So
I missed it. None of you guys are coming to the conference, right? Nobody's doing it in person.
no,
You guys are all going to Zoom in. Oh, Michelle's Zooming.
I'll be
Coming?
there. I've already had COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, if I hadn't already had it, I would be virtual, but I've already had it. So.
I mean, I'm going. I mean, it is what it is.
Is he echoing for you guys because of all of our speakers that we have going? Is everything good?
No, I don't hear any echo. I think it's just because I'm close. You can hear me, and then you're hearing me on the computer.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad we're going to be in person. I want the hybrid setup too, but you know, it's just a lot of fun getting together people from across the state.
Now Liz has got me thinking that I need to make some bullet points or something.
Oh, you got them all nervous. Oh, you got them all nervous.
Liz isn't here. She's too busy eating her crinkled cut squash.
Yeah, we've done that before. It's good. I hear bottles jingling as they come down the slope here.
It's going bigger. We got a bigger now.
Would you add some wood over there? There's a wheelbarrow.
I just adjusted the wood that was here.
That's fair.
So.
Oh, no, we'll either put it out or contain it. Yeah.
Well, everybody who didn't make it, that's their loss. So, well, I guess if we have nothing more to talk about.
Oh, there's always plenty of things to talk about, you know.
Okay.
Hey, how about
Eric,
the Blues? They
Say
won their
one
first
last time?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric,
Yeah.
you can talk about me. I have to leave now.
You know we'll only say good things, Edwina.
Feel free.
Bye, thanks.
See you later.
Thank you, Edwina, for stopping in. We appreciate it.
I had a good time. Thank you.
Great seeing you. We'll see you next week.
See you
virtually.
later.
That was a classic Edwina joke right there. What a hoot.
I don't know her well enough to talk about her.
I was just looking to see who I was on. You did a phenomenal job yesterday, Derek. Was that yesterday
thank
that you presented to St. Louis? You did outstanding.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. And I know you've reached out to me, and you were not the only one. So I do feel like it went pretty well. So like I said, it's one of those things that you think about it, and you can always try to figure out the little things you could do to improve upon it. But all in all, I felt happy with the way it went, and that's how really a lot of the campaign events have gone so far this year, where I attend the local boards and navigate whatever questions each board has important to them, and so far felt like I was well received. So feeling pretty good about it moving forward. But it's always people waiting to see how that week goes and hold their vote decision till then. So hopefully everything goes well. I've been enjoying the campaign process and getting out and chatting with everyone. That's actually been fun, and I almost would have been more fun to be in person and actually travel across and see those locations, because I'm a maps and geography junkie in addition to being a realtor. So actually that maps out pretty well, to be honest. But all in all, just to really feel humbled and enjoying the process.
Derek, to add on, I didn't see what you did yesterday, but through this process, the campaign process, I mean, you have I guess grown in the process since the beginning, especially with it's not easy to talk about oneself and then to get it concise and then what's important and not. And I think you've done a good job, and you've taken the feedback and the input that Tony and Andre, myself, Amanda, Bob, and everybody else has given. I mean, I have seen, even working with you for the last 5 years on the board, I've seen a growth in you just in these last 2-3 months. So I think you're going to get it. I believe you're going to get it, but if you don't, you did a hell of a job.
Thank you, Stephen. It's I didn't plan on announcing who was exactly a part of my campaign group, but I'll let Stephen go ahead and do that, I guess. Throw some people under there.
I live under the bus. It's okay.
Me and Stephen have pretty good dialogue amongst each other. So, but no, it's again, it's people who've been a part of it. I just appreciate them, and in some ways, they're people I look up to. And so, just looking forward to next week and having an answer. Michelle, you ran some campaigns before. You know how that feeling goes. It's like,
what? When it's over,
I'm
you're
good
just
with
glad
it.
it's over. Win or lose, you'll be glad it's over. Because it is exhausting. That's the thing. It's mentally draining to go through a campaign. But it honestly is one of the most rewarding experiences. And I haven't done like a realtor campaign. I actually did a political campaign, and I lost the first time I ran, and it was up there with getting married, having babies, losing an election. Like, I would have never thought losing an election would be so rewarding and I would learn so much, but I mean, it changed who I am. So
hey, don't feel bad. I've lost every election I ran for.
Oh, that sucks. The other two, I've been elected twice now, and both times I was high vote count by a lot. So
I ran for all
state rep next year, maybe, or two. I think 3. My guy just started his last term. So was that 3 years? We'll see what happens. I mean, none of us may even be here in 3 years with all the crap going on.
Oh, well, I'll be here. But, I ran 3 times for alderman and once for mayor. And there's 2 campaigns that there's just one campaign that really hurt. It's the one that it was one time, last time I ran for alderman, gave it my all. And then You know, it was a tough race. There was three other candidates plus me, and I did a good showing, but you know,
That's a crapshoot when you have that many people in the race, though. I mean, it
Now, when I-
really is. You get that many people, and it's kind of anybody's game.
Oh yeah. And when I ran for mayor, there was three of us, and I didn't come in first, but I didn't come in last. And you're right, Michelle. It's bittersweet. You know, you're happy. You know, you're upset that you didn't get it, but you're happy that it's over, and you know you did your best job. And so that was, yeah.
When you meet so many people, I mean, in real estate, it's all about your contacts and how many people you know and things like that. And so, I mean, you can't get in front of that many people any other way that I can think of.
No.
At least local community, you know, I mean, Andre needs to run for something. Liz needs to run for something. Time to step up, y'all.
Well, and you're right. We're all called as realtors to be a part of the political process, whether it's planning and zoning or running for office. I mean, I think if there was more realtors on some of these boards, there'd be less stupid zoning decisions and ordinances passed regarding the property. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen it.
Same with the school districts. And I know, Michelle, I believe you have a seat in your school district. I mean, it's important because there's land decisions, there's building decisions, there's all kinds of things that are made. And if people aren't informed on how that all works, like it can end up with a real problem for a school district to be, you know, creating a new bond when it was completely unnecessary if they manage funds differently.
We actually just passed the largest bond in the history of Missouri, $220 million.
What? Where is this?
Francis Howell. St. Charles County.
Yeah. Wow. That's a hell of a-
220. We're building a new
That's a
high
good school
school,
district.
and it includes different renovations and additions and things at all of our schools, and it's on a 10 to 15 year plan. But rather than go out and ask for money and then go back out, we just said, you know what, here's what we want to do with it. We'll only pull the bonds as we need them and as we're spending them. And, you know, it's
okay. So you're not pulling all 220 out.
No, not at the same time. No, but we have it
Because
approved.
the carrying
of
costs on that would be
voters.
ridiculous.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, well, I mean, we have a $220 million budget, or actually it's more than that, it's roughly $200 million budget. So it's about our annual budget, but it can only be used for facilities and, you know, property. So we purchased a new building. So we're doing a lot of different things with it. But one of the things I think is so interesting is, you know, I mean, I don't know you, Stephen, but you know, if you're a friend of Derek's, you're a friend of mine. So, Andre and Liz will appreciate this conversation, but you know, in real estate, there's so many issues systemically in our country, and real estate can't fix it alone. So I really feel like it's the education system, the property ownership and wealth gap. And I think that we have to get all of these groups together somehow, because that's the only way we're really going to be able to make change, is when all of the groups are involved, because real estate's not going to change if education doesn't change, and vice versa. And you know, criminal justice needs a little.
I agree.
I think we lost Liz and Andre, and
Criminal
was there
justice
to
needs help.
pretenders.
That's all right. But I heard, I didn't listen to the full report today, but I know St. Louis City was talking about maybe addressing the cash bail system. You know, and I think that does need to be addressed as far as criminal justice reform. And, you know, realtors, we can't do everything. We had a big discussion today about the new code of ethics change, you know, 10.5, you know, and Derek and I have talked about it a bit. It's a slippery slope. And I mean, I agree with the whole, you know, it's important. I get concerned that people's interpretations are going to get perverted and become, you know, so subjective instead of objective. But I don't know. We've got to change. I mean, people are so intellectually lazy nowadays. We have to change the education. And
A lot of stuff going on.
You're muted. I can't hear you, Michelle.
I said my dog's barking, so I
Still
couldn't hear you. I put my AirPods in, but I couldn't hear what you said.
I'm used to talking to myself.
Me too. Me too. Nobody listens when I talk.
But
So I just keep talking and
the short version was I was agreeing with the education. I mean, people become intellectually lazy. We've got to change. So
we got lots of stuff to figure out. And I just feel like, you know, as powerful and influential as the National Association of Realtors is, what if they put together a work group with the National School Board Association and the National NEA and, you know, I mean, all the different, in my opinion, all the different industries and all the different systemic organizations things, they all need to be in the same room, because you can't fix one part of it without addressing the others. Andre, do you agree with that, or what do you think about that?
That's a lot of fixing. That's a lot of fixing you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I guess I agree with Steven, but I think it's more people who are just ignorant. I wouldn't say. I don't think they are lazy on purpose. I think people are misguided.
Well, they just don't want to put the work in to learn. I mean, it's just so much.
I don't think that's it. I think the problem with education is the education system is so jacked up that it depends on where you live as to whether or not you end
what information you're getting.
Well, it depends what information you're getting, the quality of the teachers that are in your classrooms, the quality of the other things within your schools. I mean, we have an amazing district in Francis Howell, but at the same time, the district that I grew up in when I was a kid is not like it was back then. And the students there don't have the same opportunities as the students in the district I'm in now, because they don't get the same education, if that makes sense. Like it's not the same quality.
No, I agree with that.
Don't get me started on that.
When I was referring to intellectually laziness, I mean, people they don't want to take the time to research the information that's coming out, like in the media. It's so easy to Google stuff and to look it up.
Right.
I think people just get bombarded and they don't want to do it.
Well, I think they just believe the people that are I mean, if there's somebody that you support and they're telling you something, people are, I hate to say they're gullible.
They
just believe it. They don't even bother to look.
Yeah.
I think we're saying the same thing, intellectual laziness, that they're just people are just believing what they're being told rather than actually investigating and looking into it for themselves. I don't know. I also think there's just some disgusting, horrible people in this world, and nobody should ever wear a Camp Auschwitz shirt.
I can guarantee you there are horrible people in this world. I was in the Marine Corps. I've been deployed overseas. I had no animosity against any of the Iraqi people. Sure, you're trying to blow me up and kill me. I would hope you have the same conviction in my cause as they have in their cause. There's no hate and animosity. You're right. We wear stupid shit without knowing the meaning and history behind it. You know, whether it's Camp Auschwitz T-shirt or a Che Rivera or whatever. It's like, don't you guys realize what all of that truly does stand for and what's happened? It's not cool. It's not a fashion icon. There's meaning behind it.
Exactly. And that's the very, 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 very sad part. Just like hearing your congressman get on TV and say, "Oh, we're not criminals. We walk through metal detectors." Welcome to 6 years of my life growing up in high school, and everywhere I go, for the most part, I got to walk through the metal detector.
Yeah.
Michelle, your whole school system. Oh man. Yeah, I'm from Kansas City.
Computer's about to die.
So it's completely screwed up. Usually, public schools, we go by population density as far as the school district. Kansas City has a small school district in the metro area. Done by design way back when, and has never been corrected, even though the best school in Missouri and Kansas is still Lincoln College Preparatory Academy, 21st and Woodland.
Yeah.
And it's just those are the things.
Well,
or like the pandemic. My sister-in-law is a teacher in Columbia. So I was just asking her about going back to school because some of the kids here in certain school districts, they're just doing everything online. But in Liberty, they've been going to school since school started at the very beginning. Well, if you're just online, you're not getting the same quality of education as you are as kids that are going to school, getting regular interaction with the adults as well as the kids on a regular basis versus on the computer and screenshots. Not the same.
Yeah, no, that's right, Andre. I mean, especially young kids, you've got so much human growth and development that goes on at those ages that if they're not there in person, it's not doing it. And I can tell you, even as an adult, I learned better in person. I graduated high school with a 1.9 set goal. I said, I don't care if it takes me 10 years, I'll finish my college degree. I got a bachelor's degree 9.5 years later, and it was in business administration. And I never thought in 100 years that I would ever do that. But I'm curious. You know, I like to learn. I like to find out new stuff. And you know, I wish if I could have a magic wand, I would love to make all of the education system non-biased, to where it was just fact-based. You took the data, you were taught how to learn, and then from there form your ideological opinions. You know, but there's so much ignorance that goes on left, right, middle. There's just so much ignorance, and we don't want to learn. It just drives me nuts. And I'm getting on the soapbox. I'm just so disgusted with what's going on.
It happens over and over and over and over and over again. The funniest joke I make all the time, Steven, is Kansas City. I can think 3 or 4 places apart, or just a section. So like you can go look and see Civil War and see old cannons and stuff of where we fought, where we fought. People have no idea. Just walk around blindly and have no idea. And that's how we end up doing a 360 and repeating history.
So I'm just going to keep my rose-colored glasses on, try and make it work, and build coalitions. I can't hear shit anymore at all. So I'm going to hop off.
They're just getting loud over there. Hey, Amanda, will you mute the mic?
He was blaming my television. I'm like, my television on.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Party's over there.
Well, I'm glad
That's
he's got a
good.
party. That's
Exactly.
real good. Yep, I'm glad he's got a party, and I'm glad we were able to. My dog won't shut
Your
up.
dog.
Yeah, Amanda muted. See you, Michelle. Amanda muted the mic, so now we can hear it.
Hi, Michelle.
Derek. I think it's Derek.
Oh, it is Derek's mic.
That's all right,
Yeah,
Steven.
let's
Go
do-
ahead and we're gonna jump off anyway.
Yeah, good deal.
Andre,
Hey,
I'm gonna miss y'all. I'm gonna miss you.
I
next
know
week.
it's been a long time. We'll catch
I
up.
know. All right, sounds good.
all right. See you guys
Bye.
later. Have a good night.
Bye.
Here's the answer. It's gonna rank. And they're gonna make their decision, you know, whether or not they're gonna come to your event. So you look at the 2 hours.
They don't like you yet?
And then maybe an hour into when the entertainment starts.
Yeah, but you have half the money's not protected. Okay, where are you going?
So here's the encourage people.
So we get
Right.
coming here, so they might still come if it's raining.
Right.
Yeah, the umbrella.
So you can do, a quarter of an inch once they're down to one time. But the more.
Or
the
he used to do his event insurance, like he would insure the Washington Fair. So he's trying to talk about all this, what it would cost to insure the Washington Fair.
Not a big deal.
For everything
Yeah,
like
so
that.
you gotta, what I was talking about, is like,
So we have targets and floors, right? Pretty
what,
activity.
first of all, how much is it costing? How much are you wanting out of it?
Should always have more than
And
this.
secondly,
Shouldn't have more than this, keep it in between.
you gotta figure out how much.
Oh, everyone's part
is
of-
gonna deter some.
So anyway.
I mean,
So I'm saying.
I'm throwing out there.
Okay, so we're. Yeah.
Well,
they had Alabama the other year and just.
His rate is probably
Yeah, so
$50,000
we
to
have-
$100,000.
Oh, it's probably more than that.
Probably more than that.
They got headliners at the fair, they paid, they paid Leonard Skinner the other year, $100,000.
Yeah.
The Friday and Saturday is usually $100,000 to $150,000.
Yeah.
Last year, there was supposed to be a TV shop.
Yeah.
And they got, well, it's fair.
Was it?
Well, see, I don't know where, well, that I don't know. Now they're booked again for this year, you know, providing it all, they're community special, and I don't know who the country. But anyway, so that was fair. I mean, something that is better than 5 years.
Something comes up in 5 years, we're not gonna be ready. You know, I have no idea.